Welcome to Newsworthy Stories with Jacqueline Jimenez. I'm so excited today because we're going to talk about an AI lab for beginners. I mean, everyone is talking about how to do this, but I am joined today by the Greater Fort Lauderdale Chamber of Commerce, the Executive Vice President, Denise Jordan, and I'm also joined with Marvin Dejean, and he's with GileadSanders, and they are joining together a partnership because they have seen a need. And we want to talk about what that need is and how the two of you are helping businesses and this community resolve it. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you
So,
for
so,
having us.
so let me kind of start off with the Greater Fort Lauderdale Chamber of Commerce. You know, as a commerce, we are so interested in the bedrock of our economy, and that's 85% is done by small businesses. And so, you know, we felt that because it's a bedrock of our community as well as our economy, we're at an inflection point. And we want to be able to help to close the gap, the skill gap, in terms of this new digital skill. And because it's exponentially just imploding, for a lack of a better word, is to make sure that we provide the kind of tools that will help to really look at the efficiencies of businesses, whether they can be continue to be competitive, and then of course at the right time, Marvin approached us about this AI ready and this practical experience that people are going to be able to really put their hands on and grasp and not have someone that's lecturing them. That was just a game changer for me as an individual, as a chamber of commerce.
And you said it, lab, hands on. That's what caught my attention. I was like, what? We can bring our laptops? Marvin, can you tell us more? Because we hear so much about AI and training, but what is going to be so unique about this particular training, and what is it you're offering?
Yeah, thank you, Jackie, and thank you, Denise, for inviting me to talk a little bit about our AI Lab Essential Series. Look, at Gilead Sanders, that's what we do. We're helping companies, legacy companies, really sort of cross what we call the digital chasm. It's no secret that businesses are going to operate very differently in the future. In the 21st century, the type of business models, the type of technologies that are going to operate and run our companies, no matter what size you are, small, medium, or large, are going to be radically different than what we've known for the past 150 years. AI is going to be central to that. And what we've been seeing in the market is as AI becomes more and more part of the conversation in the market, more and more people are now aware of AI. But there are so many different understanding or definition of AI. Most business people, most individuals, when you talk to them about artificial intelligence, the first thing that comes to their mind is ChatGPT. And ChatGPT is nothing more than a generative AI, and it's a very small part of the AI universe, but it is a very, very important and growing part of the AI universe. However, what we're seeing out there is as AI becomes more, involved in the zeitgeist or the understanding of people, we're seeing two major gaps in the market. And this is for any size business, large, small, or medium. We're seeing the two major gaps is AI implementation, really, how do people implement AI in their business? And the second gap, of course, is AI literacy or understanding. What is AI? How does it work? And how can I actually implement it into the business so that it really helps me with operational efficiency, cuts down on my time in terms of doing manual work, and then provides me cost cutting, right? So it really allows me to grow my profit. So we decided that we wanted to really focus on one of those gaps, right? Or actually both of those gaps. But instead of just being a talking head where you're seeing it on a lot of different websites where people are talking a lot of terms like RAG and a bunch of other jargon that nobody understands, and they're saying, how do I keep up with this? It's really saying, look, The best way of learning is by doing. So we approached when we thought about a strategic partner that could really help us, close that gap with SMBs. We immediately thought about the chamber. They have a history of helping SMBs in the market. That's their focus, really shoring up small businesses and medium-sized businesses here in Greater Fort Lauderdale. So we thought they were the best partner, and we weren't wrong in our decision, because the minute we approached Denise, she just embraced the idea immediately. So that's the goal of these three-part series, is to really bring in small and medium-sized businesses. Bring your laptops, because we're not going to sit here and just talk jargon. We want you to
Because it,
do as we're doing, learn as we're
'cause
doing.
it just goes right over our head, right? Because
Yeah,
Exactly.
we just
And,
yeah,
and
we
you know, it's interesting that you should say that, because adults learn through doing. That's the most effective way
absolutely.
to get a skill set.
and something like this, especially, I know that, in fact, when I first met you, Marvin, we were talking about what you were doing in this space, and the one thing you were saying is like, this has been around a long time, but for most people,
Yep.
to us it's new, and we're like, there's this fear factor. But
Yes.
even through this series, I believe you're going to undo the myths
Yep.
behind AI,
Yep.
and that it isn't new to everyone. It's actually been here. So I'm going to ask you to go to the Eventbrite link, because
Sure.
on this Eventbrite link, it does talk to us, and it gives us information about the different dates and the different things that you're offering on those dates,
Yep.
and then the different levels. So even maybe you have different experience. Maybe you're not quite a beginner. Maybe you're an intermediate. So they've really thought this stuff out, guys. So take advantage of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So listen, we think of learning about AI sort of like a stair step model, right? We know that different people are different, and organizations are at different levels of understanding AI and using AI. Most people right now are using AI sort of like a one-off tasker, right? So write me a proposal, write me an email. That's great. AI can do that very quickly, but you're not really utilizing AI to its full potential, right? And then there are those who are now starting to use AI as a co-pilot, meaning they're automating their workflows. They're really using agentic AI to really help them do things faster, but do things that they do on a rote level all the time. They're, really giving that to AI to do, and then really doing deep research that used to take weeks or months or days, and AI can do it in a matter of seconds. And then finally, now we have, people who are now really starting to integrate AI as part of an AI first mindset, meaning they're going inside their organization, and anything and everything that they're about to do, they think about AI first. So that's the whole goal of this particular series, is to really start you where you are, meet you where you are. If you're learning about AI, you're a beginner, then that first course on September 19th is for you. We're going to go through everything, not just ChatGPT, but Gemini, VO3, Perplexity. There's a whole universe of AI platforms out there, and we're going to introduce them to you. But more importantly, we're going to allow you to do it while, in real time. While I'm doing it, you're about to do it, and you're going to break out into groups and learning from each other for each of these platforms, and really getting very, very confident about using AI. On the second session, we're going to take you to the next level. Now that you're comfortable with AI, how do we make AI become your co-pilot? Meaning you're using AI for a lot more things, and you're becoming a lot more operationally efficient with AI. And then finally, the third level, now we're going into agentic AI. You know more about AI. You know all the terms. You know all the glossary terms. Now, how do we become an AI first company? So the beauty of this as well, like you said, Jackie, people can go in, depending on whatever level you're in, you can go ahead and get your tickets now for all three sessions. So if you want to do the first session only, you can go ahead and purchase a ticket there. If you want to do the second one or the third one, you have options. But here's the most beautiful thing. If you're really interested about really operationalizing AI into your business, we highly recommend the series bundle, meaning you purchase ticket for all three, and we've given you a close to a $30 savings if you purchase the bundle tickets right now. So you'll get it at 225, and you'll get all three series at the Chamber of Commerce, and really shore up. By the time you're done with all three series, you will be a well-oiled machine in understanding how to use AI into your business, learning by doing in every single one of those lab series.
Now, Denise, there is a special offer for Greater Fort Lauderdale Chamber members. You want to talk about any of that, or inviting people to be a part of that?
Sure. So if you are a Greater Fort Lauderdale Chamber of Commerce member, we're offering a price to members of $65 for that pricing. And then there's a bundle pricing as well. Marvin, you have to
Awesome.
help me out on that.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. So there's a special pricing for Florida Chamber members, Greater Fort Lauderdale Chamber of Commerce members, and they can contact the chamber directly. Well, they'll get the code and be able to get a $20 off the regular price. So our regular price for non-members is $85 per session, and then for chamber members it will be $65. But you can contact the chamber directly. If you're a member, you'll get that code, and you can go straight into Eventbrite and purchase your tickets, and including the bundle, where you'll get a rebate for that as well. So it pays to be a member of the chamber, because you'll get a rebate for participating in this AI series.
I have been a member for 3 years now. I think going on the fourth, I believe.
That is
So
correct.
yes, the chamber pays off in many, many ways.
Yep.
But this is one of the great, opportunities. But you know what, Marvin, people might be saying, who are you? Who are you? Who is GileadSanders? Why have they partnered with you? So can you tell us a little bit about your company, and what about this company makes you the expert? Because the Greater Fort Lauderdale Chamber of Commerce would not be partnering with you if you weren't the expert in this field.
Well, I appreciate it. I mean, look, we're not the expert. We're one of many experts out there. But, the thing is, there's a lot of hype around AI, what it can do, what it cannot do. I mean, really, AI, like you said, Jackie, has been around for quite some time, since the late 1940s, early 1950s. AI has been around. It's really just becoming commercialized right now. And, back in 2012, I was on the speaking circuit talking to companies about AI. And of course, back then, nobody understood what I was talking about, but we knew in our arena of strategic foresight for business, we knew about AI because we had been reading the white papers. We knew the changes that were coming. So it took some time to be here. But the very purpose of our organization, when I started GileadSanders in 2012, was we could see the shift coming, not just around AI, but other emerging technologies like blockchain or Internet of Things or biotechnology that are just revolutionizing how we're going to live as a society and how we do business. But we also knew that with this massive shift for people in society and organizations, that a lot of companies were going to struggle to start moving their business model from the way we've been doing business for the past 100 years to this new way of doing business, where technology drives the business as opposed to being like in the periphery or being the IT department. It's really going to become the main driver of business, right? So we knew these challenges were going to come. So we created GileadSanders really for that purpose, is to help legacy companies really navigate the digital era and becoming successful and thriving in it. So it's a very different way of operating business, very different way of providing value to clients in a very different way of looking and using technology. So Gilead Sanders, that's our main purpose. So we really wanted to partner with another organization who understands business, who's been helping businesses really thrive for the past 100 years. And when we thought about it, the Chamber was really the only game in town for us to really partner. And like I said, they've been very, very open because they can see the change coming, and really preparing their members for that change has been absolutely their mission for the past, however long the Chamber's been around. So we were very confident and very happy that we were able to partner with them.
Yes, and Denise has been talking about it in other cities. So this is not the only place that they plan on doing these trainings. This is the first of three. So, coming to a city near you, expect I expect a very strong showing, just because the need is so great.
Yeah.
People, were you going to say something?
No, I was going to say, just to piggyback on that, I mean, it's so important that people understand that, with the Chamber, this is a limited series, right? So we are capping it at 80 participants per session. So it's not, let me wait and buy my ticket. Once it's full, it is full. Now, we might have to do
massive action. That's right.
Exactly. There's a sense of urgency. So if you're going to wait to the last minute, I can guarantee you that you're not going to get a ticket, and you may have to wait for the overflow. But we are capping it at 80 participants. We won't go any further than that, just to make sure that the participant experience is the best at every single one of those sessions.
Love that. Love that. And plus, those Chamber members, we're getting a better deal, and so we're going to be buying our tickets very quickly. And so I encourage you to do the same. So speaking of buying tickets, yes, you go on Eventbrite. The way I found it was I searched up, AI series, and I put in Marvin Dejean. You can put in GileadSanders, but put it together and it'll come up like that. No problem. I mean, I always have to tell people to search the way I do, because I'm not an IT person at all. So this class is for me. I'm really looking forward to it. And is there anything else that we should share before we step out of here?
I don't know if Denise has anything.
It's so interesting. Right before we got on, the McKinsey report came out, and they said, it was interesting what they said was just like when marketing changed, everyone had to become a marketer. Now we have to all become a digital techie.
Yep.
And I thought that was just spot on.
That is very true. And then, the thing is, you can see also the democratization of AI everywhere. I mean, there isn't a day that you wake up where AI is not everywhere in the news. The one thing that I want everyone to understand is that AI is not a technology. It's not like the internet or the mobile revolution that we have. AI, right, is going to become the operational system, right? Kind of like, think about your phone, where you were using iOS as an operational system for your phone, right? This is going to be the operational system for societies moving forward for the next 100 to 200 years. AI will be at the center of everything. And if you don't understand that right now, the difference between you and a company that uses AI is going to be so wide in terms of a gap that you'll never be able to compete and catch up. So it is important for you to educate yourself about the technology, understand what it can do, what it cannot do, but always be at the pulse of knowing that this technology is going to revolutionize the world as we know it. So it's important to educate yourself, educate your team, and really just start prototyping, just start educating yourself and playing around with it and seeing where it can actually help your business grow and, be efficient in the future. So we definitely think that these courses can help you. You're going to learn something. Even if you do know about AI, you'll walk out of there learning something about AI that you didn't know. I guarantee that. So we encourage you to come, join us, join other people who are starting to be on that bandwagon and starting to learn
Yeah.
about AI. Just grow your business and just, do not be behind the eight ball.
Yeah, and yes, and there's something about learning in a group. So I fully agree on that. Marvin Dejean, Denise Jordan, thank you so much for this valuable information. I look forward to hearing about it, seeing the stories coming out of it, because I know you're going to tell us, about the success and the people, that actually take this class and what they say about it. I'm looking to understand and hear what they're going to say. So thank you so much for joining Newsworthy Stories. Sign up today.
That's right. Get that lab.
Thank you, everyone.
All right. Bye bye.